Deckhand Dolly. Oh my goodness, we just got home. She doesn't want to be here anymore. She wants to play with her brother and sisters. She went to the vet today. All right, enough. You can go back in with your brother and sister. Go on. Go on. Okay, go find them. Here she comes, love. She knows how to headbutt the door. Boom, she's inside. 10 minutes late. Isn't that 10? 12, okay. Listen, unprofessional, sure. I'll let you know what I was doing, though. Give me a second. Let me pop a beer. I did have a couple at the restaurant. Whew. Let me make sure that I'm live. View channel. And boom. Compliments to the brewery. Oh, delicious. Hello. Oh. And let's mute the mic. Boom. All right, here we go. Cheers, everybody. Lobster season is coming to a close. That's a beautiful skin inside. We'll be able to make something out of that. Put that right there. And wow. What a day. Started off working. Made a couple great videos. I have the lobster sausage video coming out next, tomorrow. For Thursday. Pre-Friday stuff. And we just went and had a late dinner with a young friend of mine. And she just had her first baby a couple weeks ago. And it brought back memories of my kids. I remember that. I remember the whole hospital experience. We talked about that. Kid's cute. His little toes, and I mean, it's just so young and innocent looking child. And a young man and a young woman in this day and age. I mean, I don't know. Maybe just, I don't know. I don't know. For me, you just do it, right? And you don't know if it's going to work out. Apparently, it worked out good for me up until my kids were in their 20s, and then it didn't. Yeah, you don't dwell on that, but this lobster right here, are we feeding her?
Yeah.
You need me to crush up that food, or is it too thick for her?
No, it's alright.
Because we can grind that up, love, like in chop size. You don't put any broth or water on it? Jesus, look at her eat. Don't have to choke. Wow. Anyway, just a really good time, you know. I mean, it's different for me because I'm 54, and you get to watch a young couple and the whole nursing thing and the whole baby not sleeping all night, and me and my wife are toting we took our daughter Dolly to the restaurant. We made sure it's dog friendly. Sat outside. And Dolly was kennel trained. I put her in there for the vet, and she just stayed in there like a champion. So she's ready to go out into the world and get things done. Oliver, you cannot have our food. Penelope? No. Penelope. Thank you. Go potty. Hello, both of you. Now, Penelope is having a harder time adjusting. Oliver's just a big brother. Penelope, what would you say? Do you think she's doing okay?
She'll be okay in a couple weeks.
A couple weeks.
I wouldn't leave them alone together.
Her life has been turned upside down. I think me and my wife left when we took her to the vet like at 1 o'clock today. And she probably thought we were just taking her. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, little girl. She probably thought I got the baby, love. She probably thought that we were gonna return the dog or something. She was happy when we were taking her, and now we're home, and she's even happy that she's here. That's the craziest part of all this. But this is let's just go back. This was last night's lobster. I wish I would have been live when I was doing it, but I was watching my buddy Justin hoop netting for the last time, for the last season. And, man, let me just say this. He didn't hit it out of the park, but he didn't miss. People had fun. People got lobster. I think they got 3 each. Not bad. Now, Pablo down in San Diego limited out his whole boat. But that's just the thing about these lobsters. You don't know when they're going to crawl, what's going to make them crawl, how they're going to do. This one right here, I took all the meat out last night while I was watching Justin. And as I was dissecting it, you see this little bump in its tail right here? Right there. Okay? I thought, oh, that's weird. I've never seen something like that. It's almost like a pimple, but it's dark. And then I opened it up and took the meat out, and there was a line of blackness all the way down it. It almost looked like the lobster ate like a thorn rose, and it turned completely black. And it's like hard plastic. I believe it's a tumor, but I'm not a biologist. Here they are right here. This is just a little part of them. Let me show you what they look like. I'm not going to touch them with my own hands, but I have it. I'd like to figure out what, I think it was a tumor. So I called my buddy that I was doing this with, and I said, hey, I got 5 pounds of meat out of your 10-pound lobster. I got half of it. Do you want it? Because here's what I found. And he says, no, I just want you to taxidermy it. I don't want to be a guinea pig. And I wouldn't even give it to my dogs or anybody else. It is, it's the unknown. I don't know what was in this lobster. This was not a harbor lobster either. This one came from the 3rd trip in October. It's a nice lobster. It's going to make a great taxidermy lobster, but I noticed something I've never noticed before, and it was that black line. And that was pretty incredible to see. So, that being said, this lobster is now ready. I have to get a solution. It'll be in a bath for about 2 weeks. I'll pull it out, and then we'll start that process. Now, this lobster also had, it was just majorly attacked by something. Look at this. There's a horn that's supposed to have 2 horns. Look at this other horn is gone. And this is where the black line started all the way down. So that, to me, was bizarre in itself. This isn't my lobster, so... And I asked him, and he said, yeah, I don't think I dropped it. A lot of times if you drop them, you gotta eat them because they're gonna die or freeze them. This thing has been frozen since October, but that has nothing to do with that black line in it. I don't know what it was. I'm not a biologist, but this is what the legs are supposed to look like, and this was the leg on the other side. So it got attacked by something.
Did she go potty?
She has not gone poop yet, and she just ate. So if you want to open the door, look, she's still eating though. Look at her. Look at her. Love, you might want to put her outside right out there. She's going to poop in the next 5 minutes. We're potty training. Potty training, of course. It's a brand new puppy. And we got her kennel trained. She sat in the truck in the kennel. She went to the restaurant in her box, and she didn't make a peep. So, this morning I got up with her at like 6. We wake up every 2 hours, take her out potty, bring her back up. and she's doing really well. She's not potty trained, absolutely not, and we just got to stick with the routine. So I'm pretty excited about this puppy, and she's doing really well, and I believe she's going to be a great show dog. So I will be working. Hey, how you doing, Darren? I will be working on. She's going to go everywhere with me. If I go scuba diving, she's going to be kettle crane trained, so I can put her in a kettle, not kettle. Kettle's what you cook things in. That's crazy. Lobster season is done as of midnight. Do you have your traps or your crab pots or lobster pots pulled in? I would do it by 11:50. I mean, if you're risky, you can do it by 11:59. But if the game warden's clock is 1 minute faster than yours, then you're screwed. They'll write you the ticket. It's over. And this was one of my best lobster seasons ever. Which brings me to next year. I already know it's going to be better than before. Now, I have a 55-gallon tank that I'm cleaning right over here. Let me show it to you. It was donated from my friends. Right here. It's being cleaned as we speak. Still has a little scum on it. I'm working on that. And so next lobster season for the opener, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that. It'll be set up. I'll have everything running. I'll go not kill a couple fish, but grab fish by hand if it's legal. I got to figure out what's legal and what's not. Now, I know you can have a lobster in an aquarium only during lobster season. So, I will bring home one that's over 10 pounds, like this one right here. And from October till normally the middle of March. I think she just pooped because I'm hearing yelling. Until the middle of March, I will have a pet lobster. It's not a pet. You're not allowed to call it a pet. But you're allowed to have it. Now on the eve, so tonight, I would either have to eat it, which I will, and then I'll text it or right in front of you guys next year, or you have to let it go. Those are your choices. Especially if you're going to go live every night and they can see it. It's not my choice. It's what the game wardens say, and I follow it. So that being said, whoa, that's a terrible angle. Hang on. I screwed that up. Big time. Hang on, guys. And this one needs to go in a little bit and down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So next year, my plan is to be so successful at this that I get to keep a lobster in that aquarium for lobster season. B, I'm going to do a 3-day work week down there, get 7 a day. I'm going to hoop net, I'm going to free dive, and I'm going to scuba dive. Scuba dive I'm the master at. How you doing, Bob? How you doing? Thanks for sharing me out today on both those videos. We took deckhand dolly. We took deckhand dolly to the to the vet, and she got introduced. I think she got 3 new followers. Everybody's like, oh my God. I said, yes, I'm going to go live. I had this ridiculous chain on. They need to know what kind of fish that was. I said over 1 million, and it's the bottom fins. And they're like, oh, you do what? I'm like, I shoot fish in the head for a living. And it's time to get back to shooting fish in the head. So, in the next couple weeks, I will have my first halibut under the belt. Maybe I'll have 5. Depends. And we're just going to Like I put my all into lobster season, I'm going to put my all into halibut season. But I'm not just after halibut. I'm going to go for a leopard shark. I already have my... How you doing, Team Quack Quack? I already have my my nephew making me shoes. The next, not lobster edition, they're going to be ling cod. I have the skin. I'm going down to San Diego. I have my buddy, Captain Ian, is making custom spear guns. We're going to put halibut skin and spine into the spear gun. We're designing the spear gun for my friend Star. Sorry, I had to think. And then I'm going to give that, after I go through halibut season, I'm going to give it to Star. It's her gun. It's her halibut, her 204-pound halibut. That's the skin I'm putting in the siding of that gun. If you're wondering, I can't see your writing, Darren. God darn it. You're absolutely right. I can't wait, because it's just a way that I can be... Everybody says my algorithm's messed up because of who I am and the way I talk. I'm not going to change who I am. I can't. I've tried. But I can do another channel. I take my personality out of it, put Dolly's personality into it, turn comments off, open it up to any age group, and we'll see how that one works. It's like being rebirthed in the social media world. Plus, it's a little cute bulldog. Oh my God, you pull that thing out? I will say, the baby that was a couple, like probably the same age as Dolly. His name's Wyatt. His cute little fingers, cute little toes, innocent to the world. Just the greatest thing about a bulldog, though, and I will say this, the greatest thing about a bulldog is they grow so fast. It's sad because you see their whole life right in front of yours, and within 7 to 10 years. Right now we're in the puppy stage. Everything's happy. I got my 3-year-old, which is a 20-year-old bulldog, 21-year-old bulldog. And she's not the baby anymore. She's having a real hard time with it. But I'm the alpha male, so you let her know. You guys are going to be able to watch Deckhand Dolly grow. I'm going to make her a social media superstar for 2 years. And then she retires. She gets to go... Yes! So, Team Quack Quack, this one, I already did show earlier on Instagram, but it had a tumor or cancer all the way through it. My buddy that gave this to me does not want the meat. I have 5 pounds of meat, and I'm throwing it away. I don't know what it is. I would love to know. That's it. That's just a little proportion. It's this black stuff, and it feels like hard plastic. And it was all the way through it, from the mouth all the way to the tail in a straight line, but it had yes. Actually, I can't take credit for that. It was going to be Dolly Doll World, and Matt said, hey, why not Deckhand? And a light bulb just went on in my head. And that's just how my life goes, and how organic that is, because it sounded so right. And it is so right. Because she's going to go on me. She's going to go with me on the boats. The dive boats. If I go on people's personal boats, I'm only going to go on if my daughter's allowed. And then we're going to come home, and it'll give time for my family of 4 to get a break from the brand new baby. But then they're so excited when you bring them back home. Just like when I get back home, they're so excited. So I think it's going to be perfect. I'm going to start off. I can't start taking her, like I can't take her in 2 weeks until she has all of her parvo shots. Parvo is something you don't want to mess with. And then after parvo shots, she's 8 weeks. She has to be 16 weeks, so another 8 weeks. After that, when I go down in July and go down and grab my first grunion, she's going to be with me grabbing grunions. I'm pretty excited. I mean, maybe you don't watch me, but you got to watch a bulldog just having fun. I'm getting her used to the car right now. For the next 8 weeks, she travels with me during the day, and I'm getting her kennel trained. What that means is when I'm going diving on a boat, and I've done this with Oliver, my 4-year-old bulldog. He used to go with me out on the ocean, loved it. And when I go diving, I would worry about him because you put him in a kennel and he wasn't kennel trained. He would headbutt until he broke out of it. He didn't care if he hurt himself or not. You got to start them bulldogs off when they're small, otherwise they freak out. So, that being said, I have the green light from my wife. This is my travel partner. I'm going to get a boat down in Southern California so I can travel down there, stay on the boat. Thank you for... And then if I want, I can go over to the Channel Islands. My dreams are coming true. And this dog just fell into our laps. We were fine with that family of 4. But when Captain Justin, hey buddy, Oliver, come here. Come here, buddy. Come check this out. I don't want you to sniff this lobster. I don't know what it had in it. It's a weird one. It's a first for me. Anyway, I thought I'd pop on here. I know I was late, and it's not a scheduled show, and I didn't get to promote anything today, except for I did. I had huge numbers with Deckhand Dolly, I believe. I haven't looked at those numbers. And then I put out another video today too. So I haven't even caught up on the Deckhand Dolly. I'm working like a madman with that one. We did come up this morning with a new plan because we got her 2 days ago. And I drove 16, 17 hours, picked her up, came home. And we were exhausted. And then the dogs all met each other. And you're just trying to make sure the hierarchy is a hierarchy. And make sure everything's going to go good there. And then that went okay. Oliver accepted her. Penelope's still upset. Penelope was the middle child, but she was the star child, the baby. She's not a baby anymore. She's a big sister. And the first night was every 2 hours. I set an alarm clock. Gotta get up. Take her out, let her go potty. She gets right back in bed with us, goes right to sleep. But if you don't do that, she will wake up and pee in the bed or pee on... We got piddle pads, so you can put them on, but I don't want to train her that way. It's 2 weeks of this. 2 weeks straight, and then her bladder will be good enough, muscles enough in it, that she can hold it for like 4 to 5 hours. Every week it's another hour. That's how I look at it, that they can hold it. So my body normally gets up naturally at 5:30 to 6. So the second day, this morning, I brought her down here, I let her go potty, and I let my wife and the other bulldog, Penelope, sleeps in bed with us. Oliver has his own room. And they got the best sleep ever for 5 hours or 4 hours, whatever it was. And I just had her down here sleeping with me. Every 2 hours, I'd work on a video, take her straight outside, let her go potty. and then she'd get right back in her bed right by this heater down here. So I have that part worked out, and I'm pretty excited about that. This lobster was my last lobster of the season. I won't work on him out of season because I don't know the legality of that. I don't. If I'm going to be going live and I'm going to be yelling at the commissioners that control the wardens, I ain't going to do anything illegal that I can get caught for. So now I'm switching everything over after tonight, and I'm not even down there. So after tonight, it's all about spearfishing again. This weekend I have plans to go out and shoot some more huge lingcod before Rockfish opens April 1st. Then you guys are going to go and catch one or two. I'm going to shoot two. I'd like to get, I've had three. I did 2 dives in 1 week, and I had 3 that were over 24 pounds, and then I had 1 male, and you saw me squirt the sperm on its head. That was fun. That was for Martin's birthday, January 20th is when that happened. Haven't gotten back in the water since then. Shame on me. But I did get to go after that. I went down and I got my first 2 lobsters, hoop netty, from the harbor on Justin's, from your saltwater guides. I haven't even caught up on those videos. So for me, I need to do time management. I also have another business that I run. I got 2 of them. And so everything is just coming so fast and so beautifully together in my life that I really have to slow down and maintain. And I think this bulldog is going to really help me, because now I can be rated G instead of R. Put a bulldog in there. You can't have any cussing if you say it's okay for kids. You'll be demonetized quick. I don't want to ever be demonetized. And if I promote it the right way and follow the rules they want me to for that channel, I'll let you know. I'll let you know about the successes or not. I haven't even been able to look at the algorithm today. My phone's running on Facebook right now. Hello, Facebook people. And it's also running on YouTube on the tablet. I did do a show earlier today talking about my findings with this lobster. And I wasn't even live last night because I was watching Justin. He was live. And I was dissecting this thing. And I found it very odd. I've never seen anything like this out of 25 years. So, is it cancerous? I don't know. Is it a tumor? I don't know. Is the 5 pounds of meat that I cut out where the black hard stuff was in it safe to eat? I don't know. I ain't trying it. And my buddy definitely doesn't want to try it. I called him today and I'm like, look, here's the pictures. Here's what I found. You want me to sausage it up? I will. I mean, it's your meat. And he said, just get rid of it. Yo, what's going on, my guy? Great job last night. Great job. Proud of you. I guess you went home with 7, so now you got all that to process. You are a hunter, so do you have a meat grinder? All you have to do is put that in a meat grinder. You don't have to sausage it up. If you wanted to take the extra time and get the head meat out and the leg meat, you're going to have out of the 7 lobsters, let's just say a legal lobster, barely legal, but a legal lobster is about a pound and a half. They looked like you guys killed it last night. So let's just say you have 7 pounds of lobster, but after you take it, you're going to have half that. So because as you saw with this one it was a 10 pound. I have 5 pounds of meat, and I cut a whole bunch of I'm going to call it a tumor. I have no idea what it was. It was a black line all the way down, and it had like little branches off. And then as I was cutting it and touching it, it was like hard plastic. It's hard plastic. It's like black hard plastic. And you can hear it in there. And that's just a little proportion of it. I had a whole line of it. You know, okay. And then they're not going to come to your house. I mean, I know you're starting to get into YouTube, so just be prepared. The wardens watch YouTube. They do. And if they don't like well, it's not them. They don't do anything unless they're told to do something. So if you piss off their bosses, which is the commissioners that believe that global warming's happening, and the reason why we lost our kelp beds and abalone and everything else ties into fossil fuels, which is gas. We're not going there tonight. This was a great night. How often do you see 5-pound lobsters underwater? I see them all the time. I know where to go. I've done it for 20 plus years. I've been trained by the best. I can look at an island that I'm on, and we go to the same places pretty much every time. And I swim in the hole. I go to the same exact, they're called honey holes. It's where all the lobsters are. You can limit out in 1 minute, or you can look around for the biggest one. So normally what I do is I grab an average of a 4-pound lobster. That's my average. That's on the low end. Sprinkle in a couple 8-pounders, sprinkle in a couple 10+ pounders. Every day it's a 3 to 4 day trip. I can come home with 21. So yeah, I mean, you think of that average. But there's guys that just start out that don't even see a lobster, and then they see guys like me come back to the boat, and I have a 5-pounder that I'm like, oh, this is 5 pounds. I need a 20-pounder. Now you can't give them away or anything. You can't trade, or maybe you can. I don't know the rules. They get you for anything and everything, so I don't even run my mouth anymore. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Last year on the closer trip, it was goddamn ridiculous with the wardens. I pissed them off for doing something. I can't remember. And I remember we were on a trip. We went to SBI. It was a closer. At the end of the season, listen, it's harder to find them. You go on the opener, they're everywhere, and they don't even know if it's lobster. Lobsters don't know it's lobster season until the first day of lobster season. They think you're all friendly and gonna take pictures with them and blah blah blah. No. As soon as you start grabbing them, they all communicate. They go and compliments the brewery. And then they know it's lobster season. So, at the end of lobster season, I was on a trip. And the cook got sick over at SBI. So we ended up having to bring her back over because she had the COVID. And we dropped her off in Ventura. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, two game wardens got on board and went through every single lobster that we had, measuring them. Woke up, found out they were on the boat. They didn't wake us up nicely. They could have. And no fines. And then we go out for another day and a half and come back. When we pulled in, there was 8 game wardens for our boat. Told everybody you can't get off the boat. Can't move. Everything that came on the boat got searched thoroughly. I thought that was a little aggressive by them, but it's their job. Everybody was mad at me on the boat. They're like, this is because of you, you know. I said, I know. It just puts, because I have to travel through up to 4 hours to Santa Barbara. And then if you're stuck in a parking lot with the wardens, which it's their right, check them. Oh, I'm not doing it. Like he just asked. How often do you see 5-pounders? All the time. I don't have anything in my bag under 4 pounds. It's just me. And then I always ask the guy that's assigned to me, hey, you know who I am? And they smirk and say no all the time. Now, I personally know they know who I am. But I still do selfies with them. So tomorrow you'll see me in a selfie last year with the guy that was assigned to me. He went through my cooler, which he should. He went through my game bag, which he should. And he went through my dive bag, which he should. He went through all my clothes, which he should, my suitcase. And then I bring my own bedding for the boat. And he went through that, which he should. And it took me about another 2 hours onto my trip. So 4 hour, I'm offloading the boat, 5 hours, right? You got an hour offloading all your gear and blah, blah, blah. And then the drive's 4 hours. They put 2 more hours on that, just sitting around. I wouldn't have mind if they didn't check it the night before. Little aggressive, little overkill, but I wasn't even fighting, I wasn't even yelling at the commissioners yet. I wasn't even part of your saltwater guide yet. I already met Justin. I gave him a meet and greet. I gave him a lobster that I kind of messed up on. It's like a nice 7-pounder, but it had a weird leg on it. I said, "Do you want this?" He goes, "Oh yeah." I said, "Cool." Anyway, man, it's just Wednesday and it was a great day. I did this last night. I wish I would have filmed it because I wanted to really document that. If you ever dive with me, I will show you 5-pounders all day long if we go to the right spot. If you go in the summer months, lobsters know it's not lobster season. They're everywhere. They are when I say they're everywhere, they are everywhere. They're not afraid of humans in about a month. It takes about a month for them to know we're not on the hunting cycle. Their mating is pretty much done about a month ago. So the females all have eggs in them now, mostly. And the males, they're just happy to be happy. So, it was nice today. I went and worked, made a couple videos.
She already went poop out there, but she's in a funny mood right now.
What do you mean she's in a funny mood?
Spicy.
To the dogs?
They're being really good, but she went after Penelope's boat and Penelope snapped at her, so.
Well, you didn't yell at Penelope, did you?
Yeah, she like almost bit her.
Well, she's just showing her. Oh, there she goes.
Come on.
She didn't know what to do.
Come on.
So she went poop after eating?
Yeah.
Look at her. She's so cute.
Come on.
Everything, look at her hop.
See, I told you she's in a funny mood.
Oh, here comes Oliver. Go see your big sister.
That's little.
Or little sister. Oh, there she goes. She's got what is that, love? The zoomies. We forgot about the zoomies stage. Look at Oliver. Look at him. Anyway, glorious day. Hey Dave, how you doing, buddy? Lobster season's almost over. And what a performance by Pablo, man. Wow. And I know it's just good fun, but I love the
Go buddy. Go buddy.
I loved watching Justin last night, and then I was also in a group text of 9 of us that we kind of got together when the first meeting for the sand bass, and we just kind of got. I didn't get organized. I think it was Matt that got everybody organized. It started off with me and Matt, and then we had 9 people in a group, and we just keep group texting. And to me,
Go buddy.
two of the guys in that group were on Pablo's boat last night, and they were like, "Hey, we limited out, da da da." And then when you see the struggle, but LB's different. It's weird how some lobsters are live down there and then not live here. And if you pay attention to that every year, okay, you're not on YouTube, so I gotta pull my. I don't have my glasses on. Yes, Tut's already has a record. I was hoping last night they would have brought one in bigger than. Come here, little girl. Come here. Look at that. This is deckhand Dolly. There you go. All right, go see your mama and your brother, and your sister. Is she just gonna stay? Where's she going? What? Oh. Remember when garage doors didn't have that safety thing? That would have broke her neck. What's she doing?
I told you she's in a fun.
Anyway, yes, I will be watching. I hope Tut breaks his own record. I remember watching last year when Tut had the hitchhiker and it fell back in. And when Tut got him this year, he kept saying redemption. And if you don't know that feeling of losing something and then getting it back the next year, the next season, and no matter what, unless they pull up, somebody else pulls it up, but I think Tut and his friends are all in the same league. I don't know how that works, who gets the world record if somebody brings up the world record, but man, last year was impressive. It was a failure of defeat. I don't know if you remember the Olympics a long time ago. That who was that would say there was a saying? A failure of defeat, and then the outcome. Keep going back. If you fail, keep going, but train your brain differently. Join groups. Join your saltwater guide. It's worked for me. I'm not even a fisherman and I'm hanging out with the best people in the world. What I mean by that is they want to be the best. And last night we saw it. Justin is the best in my brain. The best has, listen, I jump in the ocean and guys I've trained come back with the biggest lobster. Like, oh. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. That's exactly it, Dave. And it was, who said that? Who was the Howard Cosell, I believe, during the Olympics. When the Olympics, we all watched because it wasn't there wasn't politics. Does she just want to hang out here with me?
She's funny right now.
Yeah, she's got the zoomies. Penelope wants nothing to do with her. She headbutts the door like the other dogs too. Anyway, the agony of defeat. Thank you, Dave. The wide world of sports. Yes, that's it. God dang. Thank you. Hashtag great parenting. Thank you, Calico Chris. I'm working on my patty. Hey, my guy. If you got a place to go, cool. If you need instructors, I got them in your areas. If you want to go do your ocean part, or maybe you just need a refresher, I don't know. We go to Catalina. You don't have to go in Monterey where it's all cold and gross. You can go over to Catalina and do your 24 skills in 50, 60 foot viz. And the surface temp is 68 degrees at Catalina. Southern Islands, of course, not Miguel. And honestly, if you go with a group of guys that really want to do it, and gals, the reason why I don't like to teach or dive master is because a lot of people do it and then they have their spouse, some male, some female, I don't care, and one person is super nervous and they take up the whole day when like 10 people really just want to get their skills done. Boom. And then they give those people to the dive master, and then the dive master has to sit there and work with them, and they don't want to flood their mask, or they don't want their mask off. Listen. Oh, Yes, let me go grab her. Hang on, Kelly. Love! Dave's wife wants to see you. She has to pee? Okay. Here she is, up and close. Look at that. Look at the markings on her. We took her to the vet today, and we were in there an extra half an hour because they wanted to show her off. Look at you. Show them. Look. Woo. You hold them like this, they won't move. This is Deckhand Dolly. Sorry. Oh, we're over here. I'm sorry. There we are. Ooh. Ooh. Look at the extra skin. I mean, so soft. This one's precious. Look at the ears. Hey, Dave and Kelly, when you guys come back down here next season on Justin's boat, Justin said when I go on his boat hoop netting, I can bring her. So she is going to be I don't know how well trained, but right now she's getting kettle trained. She's going to be on the dive boats with me. These ears are just incredible. Her markings are incredible. We have two right now that were already I had the best time with, but this one's a next level. Now I would put her around this lobster, but it had some kind of tumor in it, and I don't know what it was. And maybe it wasn't a tumor. Maybe it's just I've never seen it in 20 years. And I honestly, something happened to this lobster. It got attacked by something. It's missing one of its horns. I mean, look at that. Now, it's not mine, and I don't want somebody to say somebody shot it with a spear gun. It would have been dead. I saw this thing come up, and it was alive. We didn't even freeze it. The guy froze it for a couple months. It was one of its legs. Here's the other side. But one of those legs was missing, and it was growing back, and that's the same size as that leg. Very bizarre. This, I can make leather out of. It was the inner skin in it. Of course, we have all the fins on it. It was a male. And what we'll do is we'll make earrings out of that. All right. Say hi, Kelly. Oh, what did Kelly say? Hang on. Yeah, Kelly, I guarantee she'll be there. She won't be a puppy like this, but if you come out in the summer months, I plan on doing a lot of island trips with your saltwater guide. I'm going to be diving. They're going to be fishing. Let me put her back in. Love? She's in. She didn't go potty. If you want to take her out back. All right. So I don't want to hold these, but I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen this before. Let me throw some gloves on real quick. It was very weird. It went from the mouth all the way down, and normally I'm live and I show everything, but I was watching Justin last night and just dissecting this thing. I got 5 pounds of meat out of it, and then I called the guy that I'm doing it for, and I'm like, hey, this is just a little part of it, but look at this. And it's hard. That's hard. It's like plastic. I don't know what it is. It's bizarre. So this one I'm not going to have sausaged up, and the meat. And this is an island bug. This isn't even a bug from Long Beach. Hey, Bill, how you doing, buddy? I'm working on my patty. All right, listen, Calico Chris, listen, however you want to do it, if you already have something, cool. Cheers, Bill. If you already have your patty or you're working on it, let me know, because I have an instructor that is a Marine, a vet, and he loves just hanging out. He's the guy that dives with me and makes sure when I shoot my halibut, if a great white comes in, He's the guy that goes and takes on the great white. It's crazy. And you don't really have to, if you're underwater and you're not on the surface, if you're not, it's not a free diver thing. I apologize to the free diver. You're welcome, Kelly. You're welcome. Hey, thank you. Thank you, man. It was a pleasure. I'm sorry you got sick, but it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure hanging out with you and your man and seeing that beautiful, seeing what you guys have created. And I am learning as a 54-year-old man from your husband and from people like you. Honestly, it's just, the community is great. I really would like to act like a normal human being when I'm dealing with people on the commissioner board. It's taken me, it's weird because it takes me outside of what I know how to do. I know what works for me. I know when something's wrong, I yell at it. And if they want to fight, I fight it. And this is a whole new way, because this is, believe it or not, I've been under investigation 6 times for no reason, except for I'm so dominant underwater with lobster and halibut, that the rich old people watch my videos and see me move a couple rocks at Cortez Banks. This is how it really got started. I moved 4 rocks to get to 2 8-pound lobsters so I can grab them correctly. And when I showed that video, I had so much hate, and I loved it, because hate on social media is better than anything else. Emotion. If you can put your story out there and you get an emotion, I don't care if it's bad or not. If you get emotion, your algorithm is tick-tocking, and then everybody was just yelling at me, and it was so great. My wife's like, how do you handle this? I'm like, she doesn't want anything to do with the internet. She definitely doesn't want to be prejudged about anything. She's the most gorgeous woman. I'm blessed to even have her in my life.
You stayed.
Which one's going out?
I just took her out back and she went poop.
She's gonna go poop.
Yeah.
Hey, can you film it and then wipe in her butt? That would be cute on the bulldog. Okay. All right. Anyway, stay focused. So, I can really look up. I wish I had an earpiece in, if it's legal, for like a Bill Varney or even Dave. I mean, Dave's gonna be like talking to me, and I'm like, Dave, I agree with you, and they're gonna think I'm just crazy, right? Because I'll be just sitting in the crowd. I agree. You want me to stand up here? That's my dream. But here's what I'm gonna do, and this is the truth. Is I'm gonna go, because the last meeting, how passionate Dave is about the white sea bass, not the white sea bass, the sand bass. I apologize. I'm that passionate about abalone. They took it away. They don't give it back. His name's Eric on the board on Wednesday. Said people were calling in and trying, hey, we did this with our grandparents. He goes, I'm a diver. I know exactly what you're saying, but we need to stop. I dive up there and don't grab any abalone. I dive up there and shoot a lingcod, hang out with my same friends that I would party with, and do the abalone. But we can't do that anymore for 5 years, so we still go up there. The guys that taught me how to grab these things. Now for me, I go switch over to halibut. They would switch over to abalone. They loved abalone season just as much as they love this. I can't read that, JC. I would love to. I can't see that far. Hang on. Here's the problem, is I have dyslexia, and I have, I'm a guy that speaks from his heart. If you write something out, I ad-lib, I always get off. And once I get off, I can't come back. I don't know how it's done. I couldn't go to honestly, I dropped out of high school. I'm very successful. I've done businesses just because I can read people, but I would love to be, I wish my brain worked that way, JC. I would love for it to be written out and me read it off a teleprompter and just stay in a mode like this. So you can't see emotion. My whole face gets red. My eyes get very constricted and narrow, and then people need safe spaces, they say. I'm not even mad half the time. I'm just staring at you like, did that really come out of your mouth? You really want to say this? So my plan is, here's my plan. And hopefully Dave and Kelly are here. If you're still here, I'd love to tell you my plan. My plan is the next meeting. If I know not on Dave's show in an hour it's going on, if I got a couple days to prepare, I will go up. I will hold up a newspaper of the day I'm going on a dive, which will be the day of that. I'll get up at 5. I can make it there by 10. And then I can start speaking 1 minute to 2 minutes from the crowd. I would like to have my wetsuit still on. Okay? Flip-flops on. And for the people that stand up in the crowd, they always let them play videos. The clips. I would like to show what I just saw live 5 hours ago for abalone. They're on top of each other in 12 and 13 pounds. The abalone population is not bad. Whatever science they're saying, that guy Eric, another 10 years, he said. This is exactly what Dave was warning about the sand bass. Now, Dave was right, because I heard him on this show, and I'm like, who cares about sand bass? What are we caring about that? But it clicked in. They already took away our abalone for no reason. A non-commercial diver for abalone cannot affect the population no matter how hard you try. And that was the most watched. You had those very rich people that would rent us out their house at what is that? God, it's above San Francisco. Sea Ranch. Everything was a custom master bedroom. It had a hot tub. 10 guys would go in. It would be $300 for the whole weekend. Hanging out with your buddy. Everybody going, getting their 3 abalone, bringing it back. They showed me how to process them. We had a commercial slicer. We beat them. We got the pearls out of the shells. They made necklaces. They made jewelry. I didn't come up with this. My forefathers showed me it. And they took it away from us. And they said they were going to give it back. They keep telling us every year. Guys were crying, just like Captain Al was about their grandkids. 10 more years, you're not able to show. I don't have 10 more years to show my grandkids won't ever talk to me, even if I have them. I'm a narcissist. But let's just pretend I wasn't, and I did everything right. I can't show my kids how to do it unless I'm doing it illegally. And Eric, the guy that says he's a diver, he's not a diver. He's way too white. His skin's blue. He's without white. But he wants to pretend like he's relating to me and you. He's fake. He is what is problem with this country. He's a treasonous bastard. And that's the guy that tells the game wardens what to do and what not to do. And we saw it. Because the guy with the ponytail that's trying to do kelp restoration, he's in my area. I know who he is. I know he looks like a liberal, but he might be a liberal. I don't know even how he gets funded. I don't care. He said he was going to go ahead with this process anyway. He goes, this is exactly what Eric said. He showed us how they're weaponized. He looked at the guy that had the green pants on and says, I don't think you're going to do that. Otherwise, you're going to run into problems, right? They're showing us how pompous and arrogant they are. He also slipped up. Because I watch everything. And here's what happened. This is how he slipped up. Are you ready for this? He said fossil fuels. He believes drill baby drill is wrong. Our president for the next 4 years is drill baby drilling. The EPA, if you don't know what that is, in California, even though we're paying $7 still for diesel gas, is done. No more smog checks. A refinery from when I was born in the 1970s is reopening. Gavin Newsom is gone. He's on to podcasting. He wants to become a moderate and run for president. And if you guys let him, he will fake you all the way to the end. This is the guy that told us to stay home. Everybody says no way. Even my mom, who's a flaming liberal, said I'd never vote for Gavin Newsom. She will. Because her algorithm's different. They have her algorithm from whatever she watches. And it's the same thing I'm trying to make money in. Social media. And I'm dominating. I need to conform, I guess. So that's where I came up with Deckhand Dolly. It's going to be a very G-rated show all the way through. Whatever video I make about me and Dolly being on the boat, as you all know, I cuss every other word. I'm going to edit all that out or bleep it. I don't know how to do it yet. I'm going to make it all about Dolly. Dolly can't talk and Dolly's cute. Because once people meet me, regardless if you're a liberal or Democrat or you think I'm batshit crazy or whatnot, once you meet me, I'm a solid human being. If you listen to people that wanted you to think that they should hate me, then you're the problem because you don't think for yourself. I think outside the box. Somebody says I can't do anything, something, I figure out how I can do it. Eric, you don't have a chance with me on the board. Melissa, do not talk to me ever again about Black History Month because that's racist as F. Why give them the shortest month of the year in February? Why not let them have it all 12 months? Just like us. That's why Trump decided not to do that. But no, we're in California. You had to prove. One other thing, Melissa. If you bring it up, Native Americans again, I call them Indians, but whatever you want to call them, you better have one up on the board. Don't make decisions for them. They won't be on the board because our government screwed them over so much that they won't even come back. So Melissa, don't waste our time at the Fish and Game Commission for 2 days. It was like 3 hours mentioning about everything that was politically correct, the gays, everything else, right? And if you're gay and you don't like this, I love you just the same. I don't want to sleep with you. I'm not gay. You don't get to be in front of the line. You're not special. You're normal, just like me. Be confident in what you do. I'm confident that I know I can put this thing back together even though it has a missing hole in its head. I don't know where it went. I don't know what. I'd like to get that tested, but then God knows what the California Fish and Game Commissioners would do. We gotta ban all the lobsters, they all have cancer. I don't know if this is a special case or not. It's one from the islands. So, that being said, this was a glorious day. I'm going to be watching Justin from Your Saltwater Guide, and he has the guy that has already won the biggest lobster, and this is the last time you can get the biggest lobster. And if anybody should win it, it should be him, because last year he lost it, and we all watched it. A big one like this was hitchhiking on the outside of the Promar net. And Justin's like, don't pull it out of the water, don't pull it out of the water. And they pulled it out of the water and it jumped off. As soon as air hits these guys, they're fine and they're calm until you bring them to the surface. If you're scuba diving for them, that's why I put it on my chest like this. Because I hold them tight by the horns. Come here, you cancer-filled lobster. Like this. This is how you hold them. When they start bucking, I have my GoPro going, so I point it down so it gets this view, right? When they start, you can feel their inertia. I think I said that right. Build up, and they have about it seems like a minute, but it's only like 10 seconds where they try to get away and then they have to build up that energy again. So if you could just hold on to them, they're gonna grasp around your wetsuit and they're gonna build it up again. And then you can pet them, you can do whatever you want if you know what you're doing. Now, do not put your hand where their tail is, because if your hand's on their tail, and this is where all their muscle is, this is their propulsion, this is their weapons right here, this is everything to them. You put your hand like this thing will close down and it will break your hand. I've never had my hand broken, but I've seen it broken on other people. I've never met Tut either. Was Tut at the PCS show? Maybe he was. And listen, I have a problem until I meet somebody. This is why I thought I was a narcissist. Until I meet somebody in person, everybody's like, do you know this person? Do you know this person? They know you, and da-da-da-da. You did this with them. I'm like, what did I do with them? And you're like, oh, they were on the dive boat. I said, did they talk to me? They said, no. They thought you were unapproachable. I'm like, huh? I don't think of myself as unapproachable. But when I'm on the boat and I'm dominating, cheers, Martin. Cheers, brother. When I'm on the boat and I'm dominating, all I'm thinking about is my next dive. I got to get my head cleared. I don't care if I'm in the lead. When you're in the lead, and I hope Tut's thinking this, when you're in the lead, you're worried about being knocked down until the final countdown. And this is a final countdown. Nobody can take this away from Tut. I don't care if Tut brings up a bigger one. He's already won. Because he follows your saltwater guide. He won over $1,000, I believe. That's a good feeling. Now for me, I'm maturing so much that I won the Promar, #Promar24. I want to win it again. And I gave it to a Marine that I saw on Justin's boat previously, because I watched like a fanatic. And it's a young man that has small children that fights for our country. And at first I'm like, why is there a little kid? What am I hearing little kids on the boat for? And then I thought he was a single dad. I didn't know his wife was inside Justin's boat with the other kids. And then the next night we got to see him go out with his Marine buddies, and they were eating sardines just whole. And they got down into their underwear and jumped off the boat over in Catalina. Cheers to USA. Cheers to our vets, each and every one of them. Cheers to Dave from Saltwater Guide, I'm not kissing his ass, for bringing this entertainment to me. Because I've been watching and I've been learning. And it's the same thing with the commissioners up there in California. I do know how to behave. I've just never done it before. And when you're dealing with a liberal, I normally just annihilate them. And I look at them and they get scared. They're very weak people. You put them in power and they think they have power over you, and then they meet a real man that says he's a diver, and then you meet a diver. Listen, Eric, ball-sucking faggot. Okay, I know that's wrong. I'll learn. But I want to tell you something. Get on my boat and let's go diving in Moss Landing. I guarantee you'll shoot a 30-pound halibut. When you shoot a halibut in my area, in this area we're going to go to, in Moss Landing, 20% of the time, you get to see a full-grown, not a 12-pound, not a 12-foot great white. These are the big boys. They hunt the trench right here. You get to see them. No cage. Eric, forget what I just said. Let's go diving together. You're a fellow diver. Bring sunscreen, my guy, because you, my friend, even if it's foggy out, are going to glow like a light bulb. You can bring your Starbucks liberal juice. I don't care. You ready for this, Eric? Because I'm going to be a chameleon, and I'm going to go diving, and I'm going to perform. Like I know how to perform, but I'm going to tone it down. Sure, I'm going to come in a wetsuit, and I'm going to have a video of all the abalone that you say aren't there, and say we need to do 10 more years of study on. Oh yeah, it's right in my own backyard. It takes 10 minutes to get there, Martin. Once you leave the harbor, it opens up right there. You'll put your crab pots right on it, on the edge, because that's where they come up, right? And if you don't know what you're doing, you're watching your sonar, if you throw it in and you're 10 feet away because the current drifted you, you're going to lose your crab pot. $400 just into the depths. And you look and it was at 120 and then you saw it go to 220 and you had 260 feet of line and you moved 10 feet over and that's where you just watch it go. And you're not watching, like you're not listening to what real captains say, like Captain Dave and everything. Goodbye $400. Not saying it ever happened to me. That'd be littering in the ocean. But that trench is there. Sure it is. The great whites are completely right here. I never showed them in my videos, but I have them. Because I thought it would turn people off from diving. Everybody asked, is there sharks out there? When I was doing classes. And then the company I'd work for would say no. Because they want you to feel comfortable and safe. Yeah, they live in the ocean. Here's an example. Before you jump in the water, take a spoon, taste it. If it tastes like salt, there's things that will kill you in there. And it's not even the great whites. God darn it. If you taste it as fresh water, bull sharks can, one attack somebody 1,000 miles up fresh water. Bull sharks will bite you for no reason. Great whites will bite you for one reason. And that reason is they're a killing machine. Once they bite you and you're a scuba diver, they want nothing to do with you. Surfers, different story. You got to swim into the beach. They still won't attack you. Because they cannot lose their eyesight or their gills. So if you're down there and they're charging you, poke them right by the eye or the gill. You're allowed to stand your ground underwater. I don't care what any game warden will tell you. I've done videos. My captain asked me to take them down. I took them down. Because you're allowed to stand your ground in California. Same with the sea lions. I have video of that. My captain asked me to take it down. I took it down. I didn't want any beef with him. I don't care anymore. They're federally funded by Trump. They're men and women that don't believe in the bullshit that Eric's trying to sell you. And Melissa. They want you to believe in Black History Month. The shortest month of the year. And then, I guess for the 11 months after that, you're not supposed to like blacks? Melissa? Or the indigenous people. We call them Indians, but okay. Melissa. You sound like a racist little bitch. Now, I'm not even going to bring this up. Unless I have to. But I'm going to have somebody in my ear, hopefully, and if I can't, I'll control myself. I will be in my wetsuit. It won't smell like piss, because I'm not going to be in it that long. I'll have my camper. I can go do a wardrobe change if the wardens tell me I can't come in like that. You cannot stop me, commissioners. And the fight is here. I was fighting and I saw it for a white sand bass. I think that's the right word. And all I know is I didn't want anything else taken away from us Americans. But last week, when people were calling in and crying, because let's just open up one area. Once they take it away, they don't give it back. You didn't see him. And that's a shame. Because all of our fish goes over to China and comes back to us, and God knows what they've done to it. And they've marked it up 10, 15, maybe even 100%. But it's still cheaper than the mom and pop fish store that has to buy it legally and do everything right because the game wardens are there to make sure. It's weaponized. Eric, you're out of date. You want to play the game? Trump's my president. We the people. I don't even care about politics. I care about Americans first. Foreigners second. And apparently 90% of us think this way at this point. So keep writing your own script. You need to be off the board, Eric. I want to watch you get off the board, and I will clap outside the courthouse or wherever I'm going, wherever our little place is, when you walk away with your head down. And to you on the board that wanted 4 out of the 5 sand bass, you better vote for 5 and you better stick to it. Otherwise, I'm coming after you. That first meeting, you were the only person that went down to 4. I talked to somebody, I'm not going to say who. I said, are you satisfied with that? He said, absolutely not, but it's okay. No, it's not. If there's no science behind it, it's not okay. And you don't have money for science. You don't have money for experience. You saw the old people Wednesday, the other side, the liberals, the moms. They're all in their puffy REI jackets. They had pins with rainbows in them with hearts. Good for you. We all have gays in our family. You're not special. And you pissed off the other side, the people that gave you money, the people that want MPAs everywhere so their real estate goes up. They need us. They need us at Sea Ranch to rent those houses. Otherwise, guess what? We don't come. Towns disappear. Mendocino codes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, your government did that to you in California. They also charge you $7 a gas for diesel right now when everything else is $2 and $3. Gavin Newsom says he's changing and podcasting and becoming this moderate. He's still in control and nothing has changed. He's a lying son of a bitch, and I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6:30. 5:30 to 6:30. Peace out. Good luck, Justin, on your saltwater guide.